Hi, good day. Welcome yet again to Geomusings with Mansour. And on this episode, we are going to be discussing how Iran wasted American military gear. We will be discussing that particular concept under three criteria. For each criterion, we are going to be dedicating a video. Now, what are the three criteria? They are number one, how Iran wasted American radar. Number two, how Iran wasted American offensive bombs. And number three, we're going to be discussing what we call missile math. Missile what? Math. Let us start from the first in this particular episode. How Iran wasted American bombs. When I mean bombs, I mean offensive missiles that are fired into Iran. How? Particularly via fighter jets. You know the fighter jets. Now, usually the first targets, one of the major targets when they are firing those bombs into Iran is to kill Iranian war fighting capabilities. And what are the major war fighting capabilities Iran has? Iran has number one, a few fighter jets. They may not be particularly advanced, but America and Israel will naturally want to erase every capability they have, no matter how simplistic, no matter how ordinary, no matter how unadvanced. So Iran has a few fighter jets. Some of them hark back to the days of the Shah, pre-1979. Some of them were actually bought from the Russians. That's number one. Number two, they want to take down Iranian military helicopters because they can also be useful in some particular military maneuvers. Number three, they want to take down both military and civilian cargo planes because those cargo planes are what Iran uses, not just to move military men and materials, but to also import and go and take military gear that China and Russia supply to Iran. So naturally, it means that America will be hunting for those particular infrastructure all over Iran. Another very important thing that the Americans would want to take out are also Iranian anti-missile defense systems and Iranian missile launchers, especially mobile missile launchers that are essentially retrofitted trucks. You know those trucks that deliver fuel, those trucks that deliver cement, those long trucks. They will now retrofit them and turn them into missile launchers. So those are essentially the things that the American wants to take out. How did Iran waste American bombs while America was hunting for those military gear I just listed? They used what we call decoys. What are decoys? The first and common type of decoy is the inflatable decoy. What do we mean? You want to take out a fighter jet. You want to take out a missile launcher. You want to take out a military plane. However, your enemy wants to protect its own military gear. Two, it wants you to waste your bombs hunting those military gear. What does it do? Instead of letting the real deal remain on the tarmac of the military or civilian airports or those places where those military gear usually are, what they will do is the real armor tanks, the real fighter jets, the real military helicopters, they will go and hide them under bunkers that are hardened, under rock, where the American fighter jets cannot even see, not to talk of trying to take them out. They will now replace those gear with inflatables. What are inflatables? They will design balloons, strongly, textured balloons, and shape them in the manner those helicopters or armor tanks or missile launchers look. And they will essentially inflate them. They will look like the real thing from above. And because they will not have any heat signature because they are packed, they are not in use, the American and the Israeli fighter jet pilots will assume that they are looking at real armored tanks on ground, that they are looking at real fighter jets on ground, that they are looking at real military helicopters on ground, send their bombs to them, take them out. But they will have taken out ordinary balloons instead of the real deal. That is one important way Iran succeeded in wasting American and Israeli bombs. That method was also used by Russians and Ukrainians against one another. However, Iran now went even a step higher. What did they do? They hired young high school girls to paint 3 the images of fighter jets, of missile launchers, of military helicopters on the tarmacs of their airports. 3D paintings, they will look so vivid, they will look so real, they will look so like the real deal, such that the American and Israeli fighter jet pilots assumed they were actually taking out, the real fighter jets and the military helicopters. Now, how did we know that they were not the real deal? It was the videos of the bombings of such military gear by the Israelis and Americans themselves that let us know. How did we know? After bombing those gear, they put up the videos for media and propaganda purposes. And what eventually happened? We discovered that after the bombing, the military helicopter refused to scatter. The military cargo plane refused to disintegrate. The military fighter jet refused to actually splinter into pieces, which means that they were bombing concrete, the airport tarmacs, and not the real deal. That was how we got to know. Very interesting, not so? That was how Iran wasted American bombs, particularly with respect to, using decoys. I hope you've learned something from this episode today. So we hope to see you in the next episode. Again, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to follow, don't forget to comment, and please ask your questions and we'll gladly answer them. See you in the next episode.